Sir, Professor Gurcharan Singh, let me formally welcome you for this program of webinar we are conducting today. A webinar is conducted at national level on personality development. The chief guest today is Dr. Gurcharan Singh, who happens to be the head of the School of Management Studies in Punjabi University, Patiala, from Punjab. And he has a diversified knowledge. He has earned very good knowledge in different areas like economics, LLB, and English, and again public enterprises, and again commerce. And he has a very good contact with good number of professors all over India, and he has visited so many countries. He has traveled so many countries, including USA, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, Hong Kong, Dubai, even Maldives, as a representative of India and as a resource person of seminars, workshops, and in many cases he has presented research scholarly papers in almost all seminars, and he has been invited by the various universities of India as well as abroad as a resource person to speak on various issues, and he has chaired on many occasions in seminars and workshops, and he has about 28 years of service, and he has 100 publications, and he has written some 6 books, and he has conducted some UGC sponsored research projects. So these are all the academic credits belongs to Professor Gurcharan Singh, and he has been invited by IIMs and IITs as a resource person to deliver speeches on various issues to the students studying in IIM and IITs. So with this introduction, I am happy to invite and welcome Professor Gurcharan Singh, who happens to be a good friend of mine, and he will going to deliver a good talk on personality development. Personality development today is a very good, very important and very relevant for each and everyone who occupies prominent places. So therefore, it is a very good topic today, and he will going to speech on this topic with some PPT presentation also. And I believe my viewers will going to enjoy his speech, and he will going to share some thoughts also, some pictures also to our viewers. So with this kind of introduction, so I welcome Gurcharan Singh, and in the meantime, it is my duty to thank my management who are going to support me for all academic activities. They are so motivates me, they are going to encourage me, they are going to support me for this kind of activities for academic improvement of the institution as a whole, and of the students, teachers, like professors and scholars as a whole. So with these words, so let me welcome Dr. Gurcharan Singh on personality development. Sir, you can speak now.
Thank you, Dr. M. Shivalangegowda. You see, last time when I interacted with the audience, that was plagiarism. And this time I'm going to share with you again, a very pertinent topic, that is a personality development. And on this issue, I have a structured presentation. What is my requirement from the audience is that as you are now writing a good morning wishes to all in comment box, I would love that whenever I need it, then you will cooperate me with your comments again with regard to the topic, whatever we will interact. And for that matter, I wish all of you a best of luck. And I also am very thankful to the Puttu Swami first grade college principal, Dr. M. Shivalanga Gowda. They have given me an opportunity to share my views on the topic. The topic for today is personality development. Let me begin with by sharing my screen. Dr. Shivalingam, is my screen is visible to all?
Yes. Yes,
Now,
sir.
now this is visible.
Yes, visible, visible, sir, visible.
My PPT is visible.
Yes, yes, boss, yes, boss.
Okay. Now let me start with personality development. You see, I'm asking all of you, does personality means a famous people? So what is coming to your mind? Just thrash your mind, just open up your mind, just storm your brain. That does personality mean famous people? Now this is I'm showing you a few of the pictures of those famous people, like Bill Clinton is there, like Ariana Grande is there, Will Smith is there, Jim Carrey is there. Then you can have a David Beckham, Abraham Lincoln, Justin Bieber, Joe Biden, Donald Trump is there, and Alicia Keys is there, Barack Obama is there, Rihanna is there. I'm just asking you, does personality mean famous people? Do you think the face which you are looking on these pictures, are they it is a good personality? That is a question to you. Now let's try to analyze how these personalities became a famous people. Second issue in our personality development is a development. The word development. Does development means physical growth, or it has something else in it? What comes to your mind again? Does development mean physical growth? Like this, I'm again showing you um, uh, uh, from the ancient period. Though our studies say that human kind came from a monkey species. Monkey species was ultimately developed into humankind. Does this development means a physical growth, or development means something else? Now when I going to club up a personality development, then personality development is something else. A personality is a based of those features in your physique as a human being, what you call a physical character, physical things, emotional things, intellectual things, social things, psychological things, spiritual things, are characteristics of an individual. When you integrate all these features into one and you create that human being as one organization, then this integrated organization of physical, emotional, intellectual, social, psychological, and spiritual characteristics of an individual, that becomes a personality. And what is then development? Development is normally considered as a ongoing process, and this ongoing process includes three major things. That what is developed? You develop your skills over a period of time, you develop a knowledge over a period of time, you develop an attitude over a period of time. That means a combining these three features, these three components, skills, attitude, knowledge, that will be leading towards a development. And personality, if I talk about physical, again, as a physical you are developing some skills, as a physical you are developing some attitude, as a physical you are developing some knowledge as well, meaning thereby you are developing all these components or features: physical, emotional, intellectual, social, psychological, and spiritual characteristics of an individual with regard to skills, attitude, and knowledge. Then we call as personality development. Now, if I go through the definition, personality development is the development of the organized pattern of behaviors. Organized pattern of behavior means it is just not one time behavior. Over a period of time, you explain, you display, you demonstrate your behavior, and ultimately, after having a pattern of behavior, after having that consistency of behavior, people give the name to your behavior. That what you call is development of an organized pattern of behaviors and attitudes that makes a person distinctive, because personality makes you distinctive. How this personality makes you distinctive? Because your organized pattern of behavior and attitudes are different, they are unique from others. It is being said that more than 17,943 traits are there in a human body. 17,943 traits which have been identified. There may be more traits which not have been identified. But if I go through these 17,943 traits, few of the traits dominates your body. Few of the traits have a influence, more influence over your body rather than rest of the traits. Then the traits which are dominating your body will explain your organized pattern of behavior, will explain your organized pattern of attitudes, and then it will make your personality distinctive. And personality development occurs by ongoing interaction of temperament, character, and environment. Now, temperament is normally called as a set of genetically determined traits, what you acquire as a hereditary from your parents, and that temperament is ultimately is converted as a set of genetically determined traits. And what environment is, what is revolving around you. If a fresh air is not there, if a polluted air is there, certainly it will influence your body, certainly it will influence your emotional behavior, certainly it will influence your attitude also. And let's say you are in a family of doctors, now you are just talking all the way patients, you are just talking all the way treatments, you are just talking all the way vaccines. Ultimately it will have an influence on your physique, or it will have an influence on your mindset. That environment also creates that personality development. And finally, when I talk about what you call a character, character is a set of emotional, cognitive, and behavioral patterns which which learned from experience that determines how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. Meaning thereby, you have certain experiences based on your emotional, cognitive, and behavioral patterns, and it will determine your way of life, it will determine your lifestyle. That way of life is how a person thinks, how a person feels, how a person behaves. Let me talk few more things, the stages of personality development. There are 5 stages of personality development, though the personality is developed for whole of your life, but your earlier ages of your life, earlier age of years of your life, that have a more influence on the development of your personality. And I'm going to talk these stages in 5 stages. First stage of your life is infancy. Infancy is first 2 years of your life, and in these first 2 years of life, normally you are going to learn about basic trust or mistrust. If you have a well structured, well nurtured, well loved family, the infant will develop more trust and security and basic optimism. And if the infant is badly handled, then certainly infant will become more insecure and will learn basic mistrust rather than trust. Second stage of your life is toddlerhood. Now this normally is considered between 18 months to 2 years, and second range is 3 years to 4 years, meaning thereby from 2 years to 4 years. That range is called as toddlerhood. And in this range, research studies says that the personality is developed, that you are going to learn about autonomy or shame, and in small we can call it will. Now in this case, the toddler is going to learn as a self-confidence, and he is going to take some kind of control within himself, some kind of control within himself about his emotions, about his feelings, about his own control of his body. That is learning and autonomy. And if the person is not handled well, the person may become, the kid may become stubbornness, negativism, depending on the child's temperament. Now third stage is preschool. Now this stage is normally from the stage, the year of 3 to entry into formal school. Now that is the stage of preschool. And in this stage, the kid is going to learn about initiative or guilt, what you call purpose. Now he will try to use his imagination. He will try to broaden skills through active play and fantasy. He will try to cooperate with others, and he will also learn about leadership or as well as to follow. And if he becomes unsuccessful, then certainly child will become more fearful. He will be unable to join groups, and he will harbor guilty feelings. That's what he is going to gain within this stage of personality development. Fourth stage of personality development is school age. And within this fourth stage, he's going to learn, the kid is going to learn a learning industry or inferiority, what you call competence. And he will now in this age, he is going to, this age is during school age. In this age, he is going to master some formal skills. Now, what are those formal skills? He's going to master those formal skills like relating with peers according to rules, progressing from free play to play that is structured by rules and requires teamwork, learning basic intellectual skills, what you call reading and arithmetic, meaning thereby he is going to have some kind of analytical abilities. He is going to learn some rules. He is going to have a play with rules, which is structured with rules, and he is going to what you call learn about teamwork as well as. The fifth stage of personality development is adolescence. Now, this stage is normally comes within the age of which starts from age to 13 to 14 and more till adolescence age. Adolescence age is 17 to 18 years. Now, this stage is known as adolescence. And in this stage, the person is going to learn identity and identity diffusion. Identity and identity diffusion means that he is going to acquire some self-certainty as opposed to self-doubt. He is going to experiment with some different constructive roles rather than adopting a negative identity, such as delinquency. What I mean to say is, he will try to experiment with his own creative identity. He will try to establish his own identity, and this age is very crucial age because he will gradually develop some set of ideals to live by. He will gradually develop some ideals which seeks some leadership, someone to inspire him or her. That those skills, that kind of knowledge, he is going to gain within this stage of personality development. Now, coming to why we should endeavor to learn personality development. Now, there are lot many teachers have joined my webinar. Lot many research scholars have joined my webinar. What are the reasons why you should endeavor to learn personality development? Few things which I'm going to share with you to increase self-awareness, because you are going to gain some kind of knowledge about strengths and weaknesses. Based on these strengths and weaknesses, you will try to identify your opportunities and opportunities and threats from the external environment. That's how you're going to increase your self-awareness. And if you are self-aware, your confidence will increase automatically. And if your confidence is at peak or at optimum level, your personality would be enhanced. And based on this, because you are confident, you are self-aware, you have a knowledge, you have a skills, these will increase your enhance your communication skills as well. This will also help you to determine your goals in the life. Once you have determined the goals in the life, you have a plan to achieve those goals in the life, meaning thereby then you will have lesser of stress and anxiety. You will have more of true happiness. So one quote is very good quote written by Napoleon Hill: whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can be achieved. Meaning thereby that whatever a mind of a man conceives and he believes in that, he is going to achieve that. That's what Napoleon Hill has mentioned. Let me talk something about on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let me first of all come to all of you and come to the comment part. If anybody can guide me, that what kind of Maslow's need of hierarchy is it? Because number of teachers are there. If they can guide me in your comment box, come on, I'm waiting for your response. In your comment, if students can also participate, you can share your wishes also regarding good morning, but you also now share what kind of Maslow's need of hierarchy explains. What kind of needs he has explained. Go on, write down a few names, and if you can write down something about it. Yes, coming on. Now somebody is saying food, shelter. Oh, that's great, Meenakshi. Go on. Anybody else? Please quickly, so that we should not waste the time. Quickly, go on. I hope wishes are more than ever now. Go on topic. Soumya, I understand that you are there. Please go on topic now. I am just asking you that what is a Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory tells. You just explained that. Social needs, oh, Bhumika, that's great. Social needs, esteem needs, psychological needs, personal basic needs, motivation, depends on three needs. Clothing, basic needs, great, great. Coming on now. That's great. Please explain more, bit more, so that we are engaged. Self-respect and contentment. Go on. Something more. Food, shelter, water, cloth. This what you are talking about, these are all our physiological needs. Let me explain to you. Now, there are no doubt there are five types of needs which Maslow's hierarchy of needs have explained, but I have split up into more number of needs. Let's start with physiological needs. Now, physiological needs is a high order need. If your physiological needs are met, you are survived. If your physiological needs are not met, you are not survived. Meaning thereby, you need to have food, water, oxygen, shelter, temperature regulation, sleep and relaxation, activity and exercise, and finally, it's one of your major needs, that is what you call sexual need. Coming to your safety needs, feeling safe from potentially dangerous physical and psychological situations and events, security of health, work, money, routine, and familiarity. Coming for another type of esteem needs where you need love and belongingness. Now, love and belongingness means you need to have an affiliation. You need to have an association where you have a feeling that you are a part of a group. Now, that group may be family, that group may be a socially and or at the work, giving and receiving trust, acceptance, affection, and love. Coming to your esteem needs. Esteem needs means now you are at the peak of your career and you feel that you are a competent enough to do anything. Feeling competent, self-esteem and self-respect, the respect of others, family, socially, and at the work. Then you are going for cognitive needs. Cognitive needs means there is a desire for knowledge and understand. Now you are not talking about what you have already understood. You are talking about what you are going to understand for future. The knowledge which you have not understood earlier. The desire for knowledge and understood. The need for meaning and predictability. Then there are aesthetics needs. The need for beauty and order, creativity, design and art. And finally in your life, where you are reached at the peak, it's not your career, but at the peak of your age, where you start realizing why you are on this earth, self-actualization, reaching full potential, becoming everything one is capable of becoming. Then you start realizing this thing that yes, why my identity on this earth was, this is my identity, why I am on this earth. I am not a burden on this earth. I have contributed for the development for this earth. That's that kind of feeling when it starts coming up, the need coming up, that's what you call is self-actualization. Now, finally, if we have talked about personality development, I have given you the meaning, I have given you the definition, I have given you the needs also. I have given you the reasons why there is a need to learn about personality development. Now I'm coming to one major issue is what is the winning personality? How can you make your personality as a winning personality? Winning personality is a winner. Winner like a gold, which is always pure and fine, which is always 99.9% pure and fine. You have to become like that gold. And it is also there, all that glitters is not gold. You have not to become that metal which glitters like a gold, but that is not a gold. You have to become a gold. And for that gold, you need to become from do where do you going to start from? Now that is a question for all people in this picture have understood that this is the moment they have to start. This is the moment how to develop the winning personality. They have to start from a word, the winning personality. They have to start from a point, the winning personality. Winning personality starts from that point where your gold is 99.9% pure. And this 99.9% pure is 24 carats of the gold. You have to become that kind of 24 carats of the gold. You have to become that content person in which in that personality, a content is there where 24 carats of gold can glitter, and you have to create that personality in which 24 carats of the gold is glittering, the 24 carats of the gold, to develop a winning personality. How you can do it? Question is how you can do it. You can do it. You have to find out what are your strong areas and what are your weak areas. Those weak areas you are going to polish. This, if you are able to do it, strong areas and the polishable areas, the weak areas which needs to be polished, those polishable areas if you are going to identify, then you do some little bit to polish yourself. That will lead to that you are going towards the direction of getting or achieving the objective of 24 carats of gold. Now, first point in this 24 carats of gold to develop a winning personality is be yourself. Be yourself means whatever you are from inside. If you are filled with contentness, show to the world. If you are empty from your inside, show to the world that you are hungry. You have to stay foolish. You have to stay hungry for knowledge, for skills. And if you are not doing that, you are not yourself. Whatever you are there, whatever content is there, whatever knowledge is there, whatever skills is there, show to the outer side world. They will appreciate if your more positive states will come out naturally. And when you are communicating with the normal people simply by being yourself. Now, what I mean, I'm going to show you one slideshow here. See, be yourself. There is a story in it. I hope this is visible. If anybody can tell me. Girish? Dr. Shivalinga Gowda? Are you there? Now I need your comments on it. What you have learned from this immediately in your comment box. Immediately. I have shown you this video in which a son valued the bowl of curd which was not provided by his wife to his father. I need your comments about this video quickly. Somebody is talking about beautiful. More comments. More respect. Okay, coming good. Give value for our parents is very much essential. That's true, Bhumika. Great of you. It's really fabulous, sir. Okay. Come on, come on. Come with your more comments so that I can understand that you are with me. We must always help to the parents. Need, great. Love and values, the best message to the present generation. Come on, more. Amazing story. Care. We should respect our parents. It's valuable, sir. What I mean to say here is, I am just showing you that be yourself. Now, the son, what content of value system he carries, he has just shown to his wife also, who refused a bowl of curd to his father or father-in-law, to her father-in-law, meaning thereby he in himself that he has acquired the property from his father. Based on that property, now they are surviving. And this survival is on the business which his father has grown and ultimately transferred to his son. If that property or business again goes back to his father, then the person is going to depend on that business. And he showed to his wife that no, they are not real owner. The real owner is his father, who was just being refused for a bowl of curd. That's why I'm sharing with you, be yourself, which is an important for you to personalize you while transacting with someone. Now there is another story which I am going to share with you. Just again, listen very carefully. One day, a king came to his garden and saw withering and dying trees, bushes, and flowers. Now, an oak said, it dies because it can't be as high as a pine. A pine tree was falling down because it could not give grapes like a grapevine. Meanwhile, the grapevine was dying because it couldn't blossom like a rose. But soon the king found a single plant, pleasing heard, bloomy and fresh. The king asked, all the trees and flowers here are withering, and you are flourishing. Why? I think it comes naturally. No, this is a reply from that pleasing heard single plant. I think it comes naturally. You have planted me, like father have planted his son. You have planted me because it was your wish and your choice. If you would like to grow an oak, grapes or rose, you would plant them. And I cannot be anything else than what I am. If you planted me a rose, I will be a rose. If you planted me an oak, I will be an oak. If you planted me like a grapes, I will be a grape. Meaning thereby, I cannot be anything else than what I am. So I try to develop my best qualities in my own human being, in my own human body. Just be yourself. Let people see the real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, weird, beautiful, magical person that you are. Look at yourself. You can be only yourself. It is impossible for you to become someone else. You can enjoy life and blossom, or you can wither if you do not accept yourself. What I mean to say here is be yourself. Now, second here is adaptable to change. Normally, people resist change, which is very what you call crucial for your survival in this ever-changing world. Because change is the only constant thing in the world which happens. Everything changes. If you are not changing as per the change of the time, you will not survive. You will die your own death. So it is important for us to adapt it. If you are not adopting it, even in your customer service, we face different kinds of customers and situations, and we must be prepared for it. If you are not prepared for to tackling a different mentality, mindset of a customer, you will lose that customer. And for that matter, having a positive perception, which is most important for you to take it as a challenge that you need to overcome. Third issue in this case is the ability to smile. Your face is ever groaning. I'm using groaning. You always have a kind of avenger type of face. That is not good for you. The small smile on your face will make a lot of changes in the world. And this small smile on your face will create a positive tone of voice, which is important for us to set the mood of someone. And in fact, a smile can be heard. Attending a customer's concern will more enjoyable if we build support, rapport by being friendly and professional with them. I'm showing you another story. It's again a very short story here, just for your reference. One little boy, there is a smile taught a lesson of the life to him. Again, a very short story. One fine morning, a young boy, while going to school, learned the lesson of life at his bus stop. Now, what happened at that vast bus stop? Just try to understand. A little boy named Dhruv was all ready to go to school with his bags and lunchbox ready for the day. While waiting for his bus, he was startled by a strange voice calling him from his back. He immediately turned around to know who is there. To his surprise, a little child, very lean and thin, with soiled clothes, was expressing to him in his juvenile voice. Dhruv, in an annoying gesture, asked, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The little boy with his muted voice asked him for help, but Dhruv wondered about it and said, "How can I? I am a little boy and don't have anything to contribute. My parents are at home who actually might do something for you, or else the best thing you do is ask your parents to help. My parents never deny me for any kind of help." The little boy said, "I am a very younger than you. I am even younger than you, and I don't have parents to ask for help. I am all alone in this whole world and live here in the streets." Dhruv felt pity for him, but still was unable to understand how he can be helpful to the little child. So he again asked him curiously that how can I help you? The little boy with his smudged tiny fingers pointed towards the lunchbox Dhruv was carrying and asked, what do you have in this box? Now Dhruv replied, "It's my lunchbox for the school. My mom packs it for me every day with tasty, tasty food items. Today I have not seen what it contains." Listening to this, the miner's eye struck to the box Dhruv was carrying and his mouth filled with water. Dhruv slowly tried to realize what the little one wants, but yet to get confirmed, he questioned, "Tell me what you want." Staring continuously at the lunchbox, the little lad whispered, "Can you give something of it to eat? I have not eaten anything since last 2 days. I am dying out of hunger." Though Dhruv was too young to understand his situation and to think about it maturely, but in this innocence, he instantaneously opened his box, handed over to the little boy. The time it was offered to his junior, a strong noise was heard. Dhruv's school bus was blowing hot, and all those waiting in the stop was rushing to enter the bus. In a hurry, Dhruv left his lunchbox with the little boy and boarded into the bus. After he realized that he was left uh, with his carry box, he turned around to ask for it. But then he could not utter a single word from his mouth when he saw the happiness and smile. Just he saw the happiness and smile that a piece of bread brought on the face of his new friend. That small moment made Dhruv a mature child, as if he has understood everything in the life and all the ifs and buts of the living. By showing a kind gesture to one who was in need, Dhruv has earned all pleasure of life. He then appreciated the fact that he is very lucky to have parents who support him all the time, provide him with basic amenities of the life. Now, this is again a story with you. I would love to have your comments in comments box. Quickly, quickly. comments box. I need your comments in the comment box quickly. Wonderful information. True. More what you call comments. This is all for your learning. Please avoid now wishing, but somehow come with your comments. Really nice story, sir. I just want your comments now. I have your wishes. Valuable story. Life is good teacher than Oxford University. That's great, Kavita. Thought provoking. Great. Humanity, sir. Smile, a sign of satisfaction. Come on. Fabulous information, and it is useful to us. Very true about our possessions. A great. Humanity, sir. Come on. More comments. Wonderful information. Please come on. Only few people are there. Smart lecture style, sir. That's thank you for your appreciation. I need more comments on that story. Be happy with what you have lost. Great, Manasu. Great. This is the moral that we have to teach to youths these days very necessarily. I hope now you can comment on, and rest of the youth can go through your comments. Let me move to another point. Another point out of 24 carats of gold to develop a winning personality is the power of 3 E's. Now, these 3 E's are energy, enthusiasm, and empathy. Now, you require a lot of energy when you are going to be a winning personality. You have to show to your world that yes, you are enthused for doing a work. You are enthused to work voluntarily. You are not forced to work. Hence, that kind of enthusiasm you have to show. And for that showing enthusiasm, you need to have a lot of energy, lot of interpersonal skills. And that will create a feeling, a sense of sincerity amongst your members of group, amongst your members of family, amongst your group, wherever the members are there. The power of 3 E's will always give you a feeling of sincerity, dedication, seriousness in developing you as a winning personality. Another point is think and feel good about yourself. Meaning thereby, don't get yourself depressed. Don't get yourself more stressed. You have always a positive outlook. Even if the surroundings around you are depressive, still, if you are having a positive outlook in life, though it is more easier to said than done, but somehow if you are able to do it, you will spread positive vibes, and you have to start with yourself. Don't think that somebody else will force you. You have to start from yourself. You need to think and feel good about yourself. Only then you will be able to influence others in your life. Another thing, as your winning personality, should be an attitude of gratitude. Now, the moment I'm watching your comments, I'm just giving an appreciation. I'm just giving my gratitude. I'm just sharing my thanks, regards, indebtedness to you. That is what you call an attitude of gratitude. This is a blessing, no matter how small or simple. It may be still a blessing. If somebody is working for you, even if a small person, even if a beggar, if giving you something, say thanks to him. If some person offering you a glass of water, say thanks to him. If a kid is offering you something, say thanks to it. That kind of gratitude will be a blessing. How small or simple, it may still be a blessing, and will live your life more happy around if you are at work, if you are around customers, if you are around colleagues. That will give you a more happy life. I'll give you one more story from it. That is, just go through that.
Today, boys and girls, we're going to take a few minutes and draw on the pieces of paper in front of you something or someone you are grateful for. Taking the time for gratitude is so important for our peace of mind and our happiness. And it's a great way to remind ourselves how lucky we are for what we have and who we have in our lives. Afterwards, we're going to share
Is
what
it
we've
visible
drawn
and
with the rest
audible?
of the
Give your
class.
comments in comments box
Let's begin.
so that I can understand yes, this is visible and audible. Okay, that's good. This is visible and audible.
Wonderful, class. Now, who would like to come up first and share what you're grateful for?
Me.
Yes, Sarah, come on up.
I'm thankful for trees because they give me oxygen.
That's wonderful, Sarah. Thank you so much. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Jason, come on up.
I thank my parents because without them I wouldn't even be here. And also they help me with my homework and I love them. Chocolate. I'm grateful for chocolate.
Okay, Rebecca. Thank you. Simon, why don't you come up and share with the class what you're grateful for? Come on up, Simon. I'll be right up here with you. What are you grateful for, Simon? How would you like to play a game with your classmates to see who can guess whose hand you drew? Would you like that? All right, class. Can anyone guess whose hand Simon drew?
I think it's the hand of a policeman because they protect us and keep us safe. I think it's Simon's hand because he's grateful to have a hand. Is it the hand of God? It's your hand, Miss Sanders.
Now this is a climax of this story. Go through it. See the hands of a teacher. See the hands of a teacher. So this is the worth of a hands of a teacher. Let us be grateful, not for the material things given to us, but the small ways that we give something to others. I want now you to write in your comment box. How do you like this? What are your comments on it? My issue basic is, now this is the art attitude of gratitude. Wonderful story. Teacher is like another mother. Wonderful story. Personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures. True. Come on. Good story. And also tell me what you learn out of it. Our best teacher is our last mistake. One teacher can change anything in student life. Very true. Great, Shamu. Bhumika, sorry. It is grateful story. It is really wonderful. Nice story, sir. Yes, it is visible and audible. Treat your students as our children. Nice story. Gratitude is the great thing that we must develop necessarily. What I intend to say is, these are a few features which you have to imbibe in your character, in your personality, and your personality will become a 24 karat gold, and your personality will become a what you call winning personality. Let's go for it. Now, based on this story, how you are going to make an attitude of gratitude. The effects of gratitude last longer than you think. You cannot even think about. If you say a few words in respect of it, in say thanking some other person, paying expressing your gratitude, or saying that you are indebted to that person, feeling and expressing gratitude can make you happy in the moment. And how you can make it? There are tools for thankfulness. You can write a positive things that have happened to you, actively acknowledging those who have helped you. You will become a better at recognizing the good in your life. What grateful people have in common? Now I have given you four primary characteristics of a grateful people which have in common. These are the four characteristics. Feel a sense of abundance in their lives. Now they feel a sense of abundance, appreciate the contributions of others to their well-being, recognize and enjoy life's small players, acknowledge and importance of experiencing and expressing gratitude. And finally, you have to train your brain for gratitude. If you feel that you are so arrogant, you don't want to express a gratitude, that is a negative thought in your mind. You have to train your brain. At every moment, if you get something, from somebody, immediately respond to it, immediately pay respect to it, immediately go for creation of that attitude which comes to you naturally. Let me ask you on this question that what grateful people have in common. What you have in common, go to your comment box so that we can ask you that what kind of things you have in common. Do you think these four things, out of even four things, if one of thing is available, go for it. At least let me understand where you stand and what weaknesses you still have and what needs to be more polished. Go for it. I'm just waiting for your response in your comment box. Teachers just don't just not teach a lesson, they teach how to lead your life. Great. But now I have given you how to create an attitude of gratitude, right? There are four primary characteristics in common of grateful people. Kindly let me know how many of you have how many these characteristics in your personality. Be prudent, be honest with you, be yourself. Social responsibility. Okay, now coming up, but just a request, be quickly so that we can complete it within well time. Quickly, I'm waiting for your response. Wow, the student showing gratitude towards the teacher, sincerity. Okay, I am asking you how you are grateful, the things which I'm repeating for you, repeating for your sake of convenience. Feel a sense of abundance in their lives. Do you have a sense of abundance? Appreciate the contributions of others. Do you have appreciated somebody for contributions of others to your life? Recognize and enjoy life's small players. Are you doing it? Acknowledge the importance of experiencing and expressing gratitude. That's what I'm asking you. Go for your comment box. Great, proud, feel information. It's very good, sir. Honestly and good information. Teachers always bless their student to become a great person. Whatever problem, okay, it is a problem comes, I will forget and move on. That is the strength of my life. Okay, come on. It is our responsibility. One should have gratitude. I have it, sir. Okay, that's good. Cannot express in words. Okay, good entrepreneur. That's great. I am very grateful for my teachers too, who extended their support for who I am now. Good information, right? Now coming to another point. Another point is a positive attitude as well. I had talked to you attitude of gratitude. Think and feel good about yourself. Think and good about yourself. Now I'm coming to a positive attitude as well. A successful people always have positive attitude, even if they face with difficult situations. Let's say you are traveling by your car and your car punctured. You don't have even stepney. Now, in this case, if you always have a positive attitude, somebody would be there to help you out. If you have always a negative attitude, nobody would be there to help you out. Let me give you just one example. Just before this lecture, my daughter told me that she is facing some problem of cold and sore throat. I talked to a doctor. I asked the doctor. Doctor was not in his clinic. He asked me to come at 10:30. Now, if I go from my house to that clinic, I'll take about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And in between, there was a mandir in, because of Navaratras, there was so lot of rush, I could not get through that rush, a great rush of obese paid pairs. Ultimately, when I reached the clinic of my doctor was not there. I, I if I had a negative attitude at that time, I would have very harsh with the people at the clinic. I waited for it with some positive attitude. I asked myself to be calm. I asked that be calm, be peaceful. And after 2 3 minutes, 4 minutes, doctor came. I requested doctor that kindly check up my daughter as early as possible so that I can move to my house back and then I can deliver this lecture. Meaning thereby, even if you are facing some difficult situations, successful people always have a positive attitude. This is the key in keeping a right track of mind in order to overcome challenges, no matter how difficult they may be. This is again a very difficult task. Very difficult task. Maintaining a positive attitude is critical when you want to achieve anything or just to improve the quality of your life. I'm giving you a few things in a day what you can do. You determine your reality. Your reality means what you are. Be yourself. What you are. What kind of elements or content or physical elements or spiritual elements or mental elements you have. Be yourself. You determine your reality. Start your day strong on your positive note, that what you are going to do in whole of the day. Start your day strong. Exercise is the natural feel good drug. Have some light exercise so that your body is full of energy. Use books, audio and videos to overload your brain with positivity. Your language shapes your thought. What kind of language you use, that will ultimately portray your personality. So your language shapes your thoughts. Hang out with the positive people. Try to be associated with those people who have a positive mindset. Show your appreciation for others. Now, this appreciation is again a attitude, a positive attitude, where you are showing a gratitude also, where you are showing your appreciation also. Garbage in, garbage out. Meaning thereby, if you have accepted some garbage inside, please throw that garbage out as early as possible. This will stop negative thoughts in their tracks. Live with gratitude and recharge your batteries. Meaning thereby, now these are 8 9 10 tips with you. Start with small. Start with one. Practice it slowly and gradually. Adopt other tips and then make your life more happening. Then over a period of time, start implementing other tips and watch your positivity source. Next point is learning from failure. Whenever you do some activity, you may face failures, a more number of failures rather than a success. It is not always that every action will lead to a success of your life. No, every action may lead to number of failures, and after number of failures, you may go for, after learning from those failures, you may go for a one success from that activity. Maybe I have given you one. I'll show you one video also. But here, as per the words of Michael Jordan, he said, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career." He is a basketball player. Let me remind you, Michael Jordan is a renowned basketball player. "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have trusted to take the game winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." Meaning thereby, from all these failures, he tried to identify the root cause of a failure. And then he tried to improve upon those, what you call, root causes of failures. And finally, he is a successful basketball player, renowned basketball player. No one is perfect in this world. No one is a saint in this world. He has to gradually learn. There are five stages of your personality development. You have to learn slowly and gradually. So no one is perfect in this world, but we need to learn from our mistakes in order for us to become a better person. Some of our interaction with someone may not be so much satisfying. That is why we need to reflect and improve ourselves. Go for this.
This is the story
slideshow.
about a boy from Henryville, Indiana.
Video.
In 1895,
Again,
when he was 6 years old,
True story.
his father passed away. His mother had to start
Very
working in
true
a
story.
tomato cannery, leaving him to cook and care for his siblings. Life hit him hard at a very young age, and because of the difficult situation he faced, he had to work as a farmhand at the age of 10. When he was in 6th grade, he dropped out of high school and left his home. He started working as a painter of horse carriages. When he was 16, he faked his age to enlist in the US Army. After being honorably discharged a year later, he started working as a railway laborer and studied law at the nearby university, until he ruined his legal career by getting into a fight. He was forced to move back in with his mom and get a job selling life insurances. After some time, he got fired for not following orders. Some years later, he established a ferryboat company, and it was an instant success. Later on, he tried cashing in on his ferryboat business to create a chemical lamp manufacturing company, only to find out that another company was already selling electric lamps, much better than his company's lamps. All this hardship in life, but this guy wouldn't give up. He moved to work as a salesman for a tire company. But again, he lost his job when the company closed its manufacturing plant. By the age of 40, he met the general manager of an oil company, who asked him to run a service station for him. But the station had to close down again as a result of the Great Depression. That same year, the Shell Oil Company offered him a service station, rent-free, in return for paying the company a percentage of sales. He started operating the service station and also began to serve chicken dishes and other simple meals for
Now
people who
the
were
things
stopping
will
by at the
start
station.
changing. See to it.
His pan-fried chicken
Listen
soon
very
became a
carefully.
favorite with the people of the area and made him famous in the region. A few years later, he took out the station and started a proper restaurant. After fairly succeeding at this venture, he started to advertise his food. And to his shock, an argument erupted out of the blue with a local competitor and resulted in a fatal shootout with one of his employees dying. 4 years later, he bought a motel next to his chicken restaurant, hoping for better business. But it caught fire and burned down to the ground together with his restaurant. Yet this ambitious man rebuilt and ran a new motel with a 140-seat restaurant until World War II forced him to close it down again. When war had ended, he tried selling his recipes to other restaurants. His recipe was rejected
Can you recognize this
1,009 times, when finally, in 1952, he sold his secret recipe,
Comment in your
Kentucky
comment box.
Fried Chicken,
Yeah.
for the first time to the operator of one of the city's largest restaurants. It quickly became a hit, and as a result, several other restaurant owners franchised the concept and paid him 4 cents per chicken. However, good times didn't last very long. His own restaurant was crippled when an interstate highway reduced customer traffic. He sold it and was left only with his savings and $105 a month from Social Security. So finally, he pursued his dream to franchise his chicken concept nationwide and traveled the US looking for suitable restaurants. He opened a new restaurant and a company headquarters in 1959. He often slept in the back of his car. He visited restaurants, offered to cook his chicken, and if the owners liked it, then he negotiated a franchise right. In 1965, at the age of 75, he was just getting started. After years of rejection, failures, misfortunes, Colonel Sanders' franchise approach became highly successful. KFC was one of the first fast food chains to expand globally, opening outlets in Canada, UK, Mexico,
Give your
and
comments in
Jamaica
the comments
by
box.
the
What you learned out of
mid-1960s.
it?
The Colonel remained the company's symbol After selling it, he traveled over 400,000
Waiting
kilometers
for
a
your
year,
comments.
visiting KFC restaurants and delighting customers around the world. At the age of 90, Colonel Sanders passed away. At that time, there were around 6,000 KFC locations in 48 different countries. In 2018, there were 22,621 KFC restaurants worldwide. If you are overwhelmed by rejection or discouraged by setbacks, remember the story of Colonel Sanders, a 6th grade dropout, fired from multiple jobs, ruined his legal career, set back by the Great Depression, fire, and World War II. And yet, he became the world's most famous cook after reaching retirement age. Colonel Sanders, the creator of one of the largest fast food chains in the world, was many things. But above all, he was a great success story. With his story, we can learn that despite of thousands of rejections and misfortunes, how dedication, along with hard work, can create success, regardless of age. Thanks for watching, and stay.
Waiting for your comments now. Let me go to the comments box. We should never give up. Okay, failure is the rectification of our mistakes. We can't successful in our life. Failure is the stepping stone to success. Failure is the stepping stone to the success. Okay, feedback. Oh, Yamin Khan, immediately come to feedback. We have yet to go for 40-45 minutes more. There are a few more issues which I would like to share with you. Never blame anyone in your life, because today's failure people can succeed tomorrow. That's great. Olivia Patrao, effective session. Okay. Patience is required for the success. Never give up at any situation. Being positive and continuously working. Hard work. Age is just a number. Have mindset to achieve your dreams. Never give up. You will end up with... It is not a never give up. Never give up. Have something else. It is an issue where you have to learn from your mistakes. Never give up is completely you are going for a new efforts, but new efforts should be with some complete changeover, and that changeover will lead to success. And this changeover is what you have learned from your failures. Coming to another point, overcoming the guilt and worry. Now, guilt and worry means that if you have committed some mistake in the past, now that committed mistake overburdened your mind and you are not able to perform in present. Now that guilt is always there in your heart, in your mind, and that kind of guilt becomes a worry in your mind, and it hinders for optimum performance of yourself. Guilt and worry will only add unnecessary baggage to yourself. So you need to overcome this and focus on more important things. Perhaps you need to think of your goals and the goals of your team to drive your motivation. Meaning thereby you have to think two types of goal. One type of goal is individual goal. Individual goal, what is your goal as a human being, as an individual? What? Now, second type of goal is organizational goal. What is the goal of organization, and how organizational goals are compatible with your individual goals? There should not be inconsistency between your organizational goal and individual goals. Again, for this matter, if you are able to do this, you will overcome your guilt and worry. Again, I'm showing you one slideshow video.
So a lot of people
Go through
confuse
it.
guilt with
A
shame.
very good video.
You say they're cousins.
I say they're cousins, kissing cousins. Shame says there's something wrong with who I am. It's intrinsic.
This is a
I
Vin
can't do
Oprah
anything
show.
about it. Guilt says there's something wrong with what I've done
Or am doing.
Yeah, so I feel guilty about it. Even people now feel guilty about what they think,
Yeah.
what they say. Both of them, well, shame is a little deeper. Guilt, however, is a wasted emotion.
Yes. That's what I say.
It's a wasted emotion, because the minute you find that there's something wrong or out of alignment, you're out of order in what you're thinking or doing, do something else. That'll resolve.
What are the three main reasons that people feel guilty?
I think the first one is that we either have a premonition, a predisposition. We know that what we're doing is out of order, and you do it anyway.
Right.
That will then eat yourself up, The second thing is when we know we cause hurt, harm, danger to someone.
Yeah.
That will lead us guilt. We look at what we did and how it hurt somebody.
Shouldn't you feel guilty about that?
Well, no, I think you can make amends.
Okay.
And you can do better next time. What does guilt serve? It doesn't serve anything other than the ego.
Okay.
Which is to take you out
So
of
the acknowledgement that you cause hurt, harm, or danger. Acknowledgement you caused that to somebody is not the same thing as feeling guilty about it.
No. Yeah. Acknowledge it. Ask for forgiveness of yourself first, and then of other people if you can. And if you can do something to make amends,
yes,
then that will release you from the karmic tie to that action.
Okay.
And the third one, I think, is when we disappoint or upset someone that we love or care about, then we go into guilt. That's the children.
Yeah.
Mothers play that guilt card all the time. Oh, look how you made me feel. Oh, you're giving me a headache. Oh, you broke my heart.
right. So at the end of this life class, what we want is to substitute that emotion of guilt, replace it with what is real and that can be active in getting you to move on.
Yeah, it could be self-forgiveness. It could be asking for forgiveness. It could be making amends. And it could be just slapping yourself upside the head because you've just been wasting time and energy. Oh, my Lord, well, what in the world?
Again, coming to the comment box, I want your comments on this video. How, or you can share your actual experience with regard to overcoming on guilt or worry. Come on. I'm waiting for your response. Any experience you have, your experience with regard to overcoming of guilt and worry. You can share your experiences. We have to move on. We can't explain to anyone what we are. Very informative knowledge. Okay. We can't learn anything from being perfect. Come on. Sir didn't understand properly. Nice motivation story. Nivedita, I have shown you this video. In this video, she had tried to explain that how guilt comes to your mind. And she has given three reasons for it. And she also gives reasons how you can overcome over it. That you start forgiving the persons, or you asking for sorry from other persons. That is what. We can't win if we are worrying for every comment that people make on us. Very knowledgeable. Success is the result of 100 failures. Solve it. Guilt spoils the life and mindset. That's true. To spend time with family and friends. That Bhumika, you are great. That is again one pertinent solution for overcoming of guilt and worry. Because when you share, you start sharing your worries with somebody in which you can confide, and ultimately that sharing will lead to that something which becomes overburdening your mind. Now you have relieved of it. You have almost put that burden from your mind, throw it away. That's what is what you call overcoming of your guilt and worries. We should not feel guilty. Great. Now coming to another point which I would like to share with you. I have one story. Again, one story. It is a case example. I'll share with you that story, and then I need your comments in that comment box. Please listen this story very carefully. Overcoming long-standing guilt. There is a person called Mohan, age 23, meets with a counselor in an attempt to deal with feelings of guilt from an incident that took place in his teenage years. Now, there was one incident which happened in his teenage years. Now, what happened? He and a group of his friends had repeatedly harassed two homeless men they often saw at park in their neighborhood, jeering at them, throwing their belongings into garbage cans, and tossing garbage at them. Mohan's feeling of guilt have worsened since he could not find the two men upon returning to his hometown after college, though he had planned to apologize to them and make amends. After a conversation with his counselor, Mohan decided to spend some time each week volunteering at a shelter or langar kitchen. When he does so, although he still feels guilt over the way he behaved in the past, his guilt is somewhat assuaged by the knowledge that he is helping others. I need your comments on this story. Quickly, what comments would you like to make here? I always acknowledge the help provided by others. When person you love left, just forgive them and move on. Now I need what you call comments on this story, the story which I have shared with you. This story of Mr. Mohan, 23, who has a feeling of guilt for which he repeatedly harassed two homeless men in a park in their neighborhood. Now, what they did wrong things to that two men, jeering at them, throwing their belongings into garbage cans and tossing garbage at them. And certainly after a certain period of time, then he feel that he committed some mistakes in his teenage years. How would you react to it? I need your never store everything in your heart, but express everything to your loved ones. True, Azra, but let's go for your comments. First of all, I always nice story. With our self-confidence, we can do anything in our life. 50% of the internet consumed. I don't know. You have joined at your will. So kindly you make it up to you how to make this session more valuable for you. Sir, we can't correct all the mistakes of our past. How much we can do, but still we feel guilty about past sometimes. That's true. But somehow, if you are going to realize it, and if you are going to have some kind of sharing, and if you are going to apologize to those persons, you will be relieved from this guilt automatically. Self-realization. Okay. Kavita was blocked. Okay. Confidence gives success. Come on. I'm waiting for your comments. Guilty, then reap it. Public apologies. True. Patience, Yugade. I'm happy that you have gone for public apology. Try until we success. Great of you. Now coming to again my presentation. Another point is having clear goals. You must know what you intend to do. You must know what you intend to do in a life, what you intend to do in a particular span of period, what you intend to do in a particular span of moment. If you are able to define your goals, clear goals, you are able to then develop a plan to achieve those goals. And if you are a goal-less person, certainly you may not be a very good goalie then you will be failure. And that's what our clear goal says. Knowing and clearly understanding what your goals are will help you reach them. Always think of your goals and aim to reach or even go beyond it. If you want to make your customers or someone happy, think of it and work for it. Again, showing you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay. Welcome to Invisible World. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. All the messages, all the comments was called 3 motivational messages that will transform your 2016. I wanted to share with you a video on how to set effective goals that you will surely accomplish. In 1979, interviewers asked the Harvard MBA program how many of them set goals. They found that 84% of the program set no goals at all. 13% of them set goals, but they weren't committed on paper. And only 3% actually set goals that were committed on paper and had plans to accomplish them. 10 years on, in 1989, they interviewed the same individuals again. The results were absolutely staggering. They found that those 13% who set some goals but hadn't had them down on paper were making twice as much as the 84% who had never set a goal. And even more staggering was the fact that the 3% who had committed goals written on paper had actually been making more money than the 97% put together. Today's session is all about how you can make those goals. I'm going to share with you 3 questions that will help you reflect on the goals that maybe you've already set for the new year, or maybe goals that you're about to set. The first question you need to ask yourself is, are your goals too vague and are they not specific enough? The reason why I ask this is because maybe one of your goals is to get fit. Now, when you say that, do you mean as fit as a model? Do you mean as fit as Cristiano Ronaldo? Do you mean as fit as an athlete? How do you define fit? Or is it just fit enough to walk up your stairs without feeling tired? Becoming more specific about the goals you want to achieve means that you're more likely to understand how much planning is involved in terms of time and resources and how you're going to make it fit into your incredibly busy week. Try to make your goals as specific as possible. The second question you need to ask yourself is, are your goals too grand to be achievable? Now, I'm a big believer in defining your destiny and reaching and accomplishing your goals, but Bill Gates said a fantastic piece of wisdom that I want to share with you. He said that actually people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. We always feel that we can make a bigger change quickly by impulsively acting rather than building blocks that will actually be great foundations for future success. What you need to do this year is actually try and find digestible blocks of work, little pieces of action that will help you effectively bring about change in small areas of your life. When these add up and build together, you'll gain momentum, and that will affect things in the future for you as well. The third question you need to ask yourself is, are you surrounded by the right people and are you influenced by the right people? If, for example, your goal is to give up chocolate, it won't help if you work at a chocolate factory, you live next to a chocolate manufacturer, your best friend loves chocolate, and you're making chocolate cake on the weekends. It's just not going to be possible. You need to be spending time with people who have the same goal, but also people who've achieved that goal and made it into a habit. Are you aware of the little milestones that you need to reach to incentivize you daily? We need to feel inspired by our goals every day. And if you're feeling that your goal is too far away or a tangible outcome is in too far a distance, you need to make it closer. You need to be noticing and observing the small things, the small changes that you can be grateful for that you see every single day or every single week. Make sure you know your milestones, otherwise you're going to get lost. A goal without a plan is just a wish, and Tony Robbins said that setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible.
You have to turn your invisibles into visibles. That's what the story says for having your clear goals. Now coming to another, having values clarification. Now people, if you don't know what your value system is from your family base, and if you are not knowing that, you will not be portraying that value system to the outside world. Review and reflect on your family's core values and make sure that you manifest those in your every transaction with someone. How can you do that? Now, this value clarification is a psychotherapy technique. I'll show you one more video, which is a very good video of 1.5 minutes. Just see how a mom takes a tough stance and people within the family just cursed that mom, but only one wisdomful man, he just supported that mom for taking that kind of tough decisions. Go for it. Very beautiful story.
क्या जरूरत थी छोरे से इतना गुस्सा करने की? जरा सी बात तो थी. ₹10 के लिए छोरे ने भूखा मारेगी क्या?
ऐसा क्या कर दिया इसने जो प्लेट उठा के ले जा रही है?
10 रुपए तो लिए थे तेरे पर्स से, कोई पड़ोस से तो न लाया था?
मेरे पैसे लिए थे इसने, तेरे बाप के नहीं।
छोटे घर की है ना। तेरी माँ ने कुछ तुझे सिखाया नहीं है?
जान दे, ये तो तुझे खाना देगी ना, तू मेरी प्लेट से खा ले।
तय अपने खाने की चिंता कर। इसने 10 रुपए लिए ना हैं, चुराए हैं। आज चोरी की है, कल न जाने क्या करेगा। और अगर मैं इसकी मां की जगह होता ना, तो 2 दिन तक इसको खाना नहीं देता। बहू, ठीक किया है तूने। खा ले।
I have shown you this story, this video. I need your comments again. What do you understand from this? Now, there was some English subtitles which have shown to everybody. Kindly go through that. It is good to turn a plant in a right posture before it becomes a thorn. Okay. It becomes a tree. Very informative. Excellent, sir. You can explain this story in English because we don't understand. There was English subtitles that was also available. Really, my story, nice story. Sometimes good habits can be developed only by strict method and discipline. Mother is our life. Sometimes we have to be strict and firm with our children. That's why a mom who takes some stringent decisions for their kid to protect the next future generation. That is the need where we have to stand by that mother. Unfortunately, what is happening today, those mothers are missing who can take a stringent, strict decisions for their kids. That is the needed as a what you call having value clarification. What is this value clarification? This is a psychotherapy technique that can often help an individual increase awareness of any values. In this case, that raw struck kid, stolen money, and the relatives, the dadi or tai or taya, they were just protecting that kid. But unfortunately, just to teach that kid that this was a what you call stolen act, this was a theft act, and this society do not accept that kind of behavior. Just to create that lesson, mother took a stringent decision. Mother shown his anguishness to her kid, but the other persons were not taking seriously. Only that dadu, old person, took it very seriously, stood up with that strict mother that yes, we have to protect our future generation. For that matter, this values clarification is a psychotherapy technique that can often help an individual increase awareness of any values that have a bearing on the lifestyle decisions and actions. One more story. Let me leave this story because otherwise we will be it is going to be too long. Now, respect and value for people. 2 dimensions. You have to respect yourself. You have to respect for others also. two dimensions. You have to respect yourself also, that what you are. If you are not able to respect yourself for you, then you are not able to respect other persons also. So respect is earned. Respect is earned. If you want that somebody to respect and value you as a person, you need to also do the same for them first. Think of them as the most important part of our life, because we will not exist without them. Again, a story for you. Again, a real story for you.
Today, boys and girls, we're going to take a few minutes and draw on the pieces of paper in front of you.
I have already shown you this story. Can you imagine that how a student, a kid, is paying a respect to his teacher? Now, there are these things which you are going to understand. You have to understand, first of all, the value system. If your value system allows you, only then you will be able to respect yourself and give respect to others. Now, values which may be described as behavioral standards and needs that work to support a person's purpose and vision. Each person has a core value, and that contribute towards a person's system of beliefs, ideas, and attitudes, and values often affect how a person operates or responds in a certain situations. Meaning thereby, you have to create that value system within your family. And these value systems are influenced by these 5 elements: family, individual experiences, religion or culture, community, and political leaders. Now, family in childhood allows you to develop an internal reference: what is good or bad, what is important or desirable and useful. This reference, internal reference, ultimately leads for a longer period of time, what you call family members value. Now, there are individual experiences also. Values are often transformed or adjusted based on life experiences, education, personal challenges, and successes. And the religion also influences your value system. These values tend to reflect person's sense of right and wrong. Community values may be shared by many people who live together in a community. Now, this is, if you are able to understand values, you will be able to give respect to others, meaning thereby what you call, first is respect, self-respect. It starts with self-respect. Respecting yourself means giving and defining your own worth and value as a human being. If you are able to define your own worth and value as a human being, then you will be giving that respect to others. For that matter, first you have to self-respect yourself. How you can do it? Now, these are a few tips for you. Being an honest person, valuing academics and other forms of education, understanding the impact of proper nutrition and exercise, understanding financial responsibility, learning to listen, understanding the value of good manners and proper conduct, learning to accept personal responsibility for your own conduct, learning when and how to apologize. Most important issue is learning when and how to apologize, learning to understand which of your friends are good influences and which ones are bad influences. This is again a very critical issue. The friends which are there with you, what kind of friends they are. If they are good friends, they will have a good influences. If they are bad friends, they will have a bad influences, and they will spoil whole of your life. Having important goals and plans for reaching them. Now, how you can show respect to others? Again, when you have to demonstrate that respect to others. How you can demonstrate that respect to others? You give value to their being and ideals. You have to give that value to their being. Being means human being and ideals. How you can do it? One of the best way to show that respect is truly listen to another's point of view. Truly listen to another's point of view. And one more respect, how you can show a respect is, there is a quote: to be one, to be united is a great thing. To be one, to be united is a great thing. But to respect the right to be different is maybe even greater. And last one, which has been given by Lawrence Stone: respect for ourselves guides our morals. Now, there are two dimensions: self-respect and respect for others. Respect for ourselves, self-respect, guides for morals. Respect for others guides our manners. So you have to create that manners within you. You have to create that morals within you, so that you can make your self-respect. You can go for showing respect for others also. Now, there is a clarity and conviction in communication also. There is a need for it. If you are able to develop that clarity and conviction, your communication would be fantastic, wonderful. Communication skills is a vital component of your daily life. And if you have to communicate with somebody, you have to be very clear and confident. How you can do it? Now, there are three components in Webster. There are three definitions in Merriam-Webster dictionary. One is charisma, second is clarity, third one is conviction. Charisma is a special magnetic charm or appeal. Clarity is the quality of being expressed, remembered, and easily understood in a very exact way. And conviction is the feeling of being sure that what you believe or say is true. Now, what is required? What is the essential if you want to be a very effective communicator? Now, people say these three components are required, but the examples say that even out of these two, clarity and conviction are available with you, you are a really effective communicator. And the example is Mohandas Gandhi did not have great charisma, but he had incredible conviction. Martin Luther King Jr. had incredible charisma and he had incredible conviction as well. They both believed in their core that non-violent resistance was the key to massive civil rights change. And they were both two of the greatest leaders in the history of world. Charisma was not the key factor. It is only clarity and conviction of the words which you are sharing with your audience. Now, people also say Steve Jobs was a great charisma, had a great charisma. I actually think he spoke very clearly with great conviction. How you are going to explain it? I'm just asking you. Ask people to explain what you just said. I'm just asking you in comment box what I have shared with you. Just go through it. I'm trying to assess whether you are with me or not, whether I'm a clear communicator or not, whether my clarity and conviction is there with personality development or not. Just I'm asking you. Go for it. Wash hands. Wash hands. I don't know who is saying this. Wash hands. We need feedback links, sir. We are still on the roll. We have to tell someone you trust what you are feeling. Session is very interesting. Okay, look for lesson that can be learned from your experience. Punishment is required for one's wrongdoings. I want more. What I have already said. Are you with me? Just I'm asking you that kind of feedback also. And if you are washing hands, wash hands means why? I could not get it. If anybody can explain me. There is the Krishna Kumar Khatri. He is saying wash hands. Wash hands. Are we having some kind of infection or we are going for COVID treatment? I could not get it. You share in this feedback links, please, sir. Good information, sir. It's nice, sir. Okay, come on, come on. I want that you are with me and it will inspire me that what I'm doing right. And what my communication is this communication is directly hitting at the target where I want it to be. Sir, really very interesting and inspiration. Your voice and explaining skills are good. Very initiative session. Thank you, sir. It's very clear and understandable. That's great. That's great. Now, coming to some more tips for you. Ask people to explain what you just said. What I just said, you have explained me in your comment box. And sometimes buzzwords kill clarity. How? The topic is something else. The people is like politicians. They are mentioning something else. I'm just showing you the things which they normally speak. We are going to tackle that mountain. No, which kind of mountain? I don't know. We are all in this together. No, which kind of togetherness? I don't know. It's when things get tough that the tough keep going. When all is said and done, it's better to have a lot more done than said. We will leave our mark on history. What is the topic? Nobody knows. These are all jargons. These are all buzzwords which will kill clarity. Sometimes your metaphors are power tools of your language. Once upon a time, when personal computers were introduced by Steve Jobs used one metaphor. It's a bicycle for your mind. How he convinced his audience, his clients. It's a bicycle for his mind. What does it indicate? It gives them an independence and freedom to do. And 20 years later, Jobs described laptop computer as something you throw in your backpack, meaning thereby now people could visualize that it made a sense what you would do with it. You would carry it around and with you like a paperback book or a snack. It made laptop computer a part of your normal life. And finally, do you really believe in what you are saying? What I'm saying, I'm trying to make this as my lifestyle. If you are really doing this, be yourself. Do you really believe in what you are saying? That's what you have to show to the external world with sincerity, with seriousness. Coming to another issue, free from envy and ego. Sometimes you become envious of the performance of somebody else. You have your ego not to talk anybody, but this will kill your personality. Please don't do it. Free from your envy and ego personality. Everyone wants a humble person. Most importantly, our customers always put their needs first before ourselves. Few more tips. Ability to spread love and happiness. Now there is one quote by Mark Twain. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Making our customers happy will definitely make you happy as well. Now how you are going, what kind of ability of spread love and happiness, what kind of things are required with you? I'm giving you again some tips. Strike up random conversation with a stranger. You don't know anybody. I don't know you, but now I'm trying to converse with you through comment box. So strike up random conversation with a stranger. Greet everyone with a smile. The ability of smile would work. Listen more than you talk, because you have one mouth, 2 ears. 2 ears means listen more. One mouth means talk less. Genuinely compliment someone. Ask someone if they need help. Now, how do you go about spreading happiness in your day? Again, I need your comments in comment box. How do you go for spreading happiness? Happiness every day. That I need a kind of Sardarji's share. You have inducted a lot of confidence. Sir, feedback link. When I ready ji, be with me. Presentation with videos communicates a lot, sir. Customers are always correct. Very beneficial, sir. I need more from it. I need more from it. What you mean is, how do you go about spreading happiness every day? What kind of happiness you show, and how you make other persons happy? Go on. Sir, can please share this? That we will do by helping others. Encourage everyone. Come on. Your views. More views. Being with family, expecting nothing, and sharing the review of the day. That's great. You share your review of the day also. Now, going ahead, don't complain or criticize what you cannot change. Now, change in itself is a constant thing. In itself, change will change you. Change will force you to change if you do not change yourself. Meaning thereby, we cannot control somebody's behavior, but we can change our behavior to that somebody to avoid causing added annoyance to them. And when I was talking about that, you have to learn from failure. Before I go for that, being a challenger, you have a challenging role. It is not easy, but it is worth of it. Never give up. Again, a beautiful story in Barcelona 1992. Very beautiful video. Go for it. And then I need your comments from your side. Never give up. It's a real story.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence till you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains.
see the spirit of this direct.
Raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be.
The story is not complete here.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up.
What I mean to say here is that life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. That's what Albert Einstein said, and one of the greatest scientists. And he also said that you will win if you never give up. You have to become a challenger. And when you are a challenger, you have a challenging role. And the key is to love your work and appreciate everything that comes with it. Last one is continuously polish yourself. Whatever you do, start polishing yourself. Start learning from your failures and challenge that status quo. Status quo means as it is. As it is means what is around you, that will remain as it is. And now you have to challenge that status quo. You have to challenge that status of as it is and keep that more, move that more vibrant. By doing this, you will better improve yourself and successful in life and work. And finally, as a 24 carats of gold to develop a winning personality, taking regular action. Taking regular action. You are just not listening to me. You have to imbibe all these features into your character, into your emotions, into your physique. And for that matter, you can't just stand before a mirror and shout winning personality. You cannot do that. Standing in front of mirror and saying that you become a winning personality. No, but you have to do certain actions. What actions you can do? Write down for next 7 days an action plan. Will you do? That's my question to all of you. Will you do? Question to all of you. Will you do that? I'm asking you a question. Write down for the next 7 days an action plan. And if you want something, work for it. Positive change will not happen if you will not commit yourself to it. Committing yourself to it means, will you do that? You make up your plan for the next 7 days. And then it is just not plan. Commit yourself to it. Commit yourself to it. It is just not plan what you are doing, the goals. You have to create that plan for execution as well, for implementation as well, for practice as well, and create that practice session truly with your friends, with your family, with your social group, with your teacher-student group, wherever you are. Make these happen. Again, coming to a quote, if you want something, work for it. Positive change will not happen if you will not commit yourself to it. That's what is the issue. If you want to have something you never had, जो आपके पास नहीं है, अब चाहते हो वो आपके पास हो, you need to do something. आपको वो करना पड़ेगा you have never done before. वो कुछ करना पड़ेगा जो आपने पहले कभी नहीं किया. I repeat, if you want to have something you never had, you need to do something you have never done. So what is success? Success is a journey. It is not a destination. Developing a winning personality is not a hit and miss affair, nor a matter of luck, but it is a conscious and focused effort. Coming to again one more
I'm
video.
here to talk about
Very
success.
good video for your reference. 5-10 minutes it will take.
The first rule of success is to have a vision.
It is Arnold
You see, if you
Schwarzenegger.
don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go,
Remain with me.
you drift around and you never end up anywhere. I mean, as you know, I was born in 1947 in Austria after the Second World War. So I was very fortunate that I stumbled onto my vision. And I didn't really like Austria when I grew up. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I couldn't see myself becoming a farmer or a worker in a factory or anything like that. Even though my parents wanted me to stay there and have a normal life. But that was their vision, not mine. My vision was totally different. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big.
See
and
his
one day
goal.
I went to school. I remember I was 11 years old.
A kind of vision.
And they showed a documentary about America. There they showed in this documentary the huge skyscrapers, the high-rises, the huge bridges, the 6-lane freeways, and all of this stuff. And I said to myself, that's where I want to be.
His vision.
I don't want to be around here in these little farmhouses and these little buildings. I want to be in America. One day after school, I walked by a store in Graz. So I went inside and I looked around, and then I saw a magazine. I saw a bodybuilding magazine that had Reg Park on the cover. Reg Park was then a 3-time Mr. Universe. And I saw him on the big screen as Hercules. I read that and I said to myself, wow, this is the blueprint for my life. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to become a bodybuilding champion just like Reg Park.
See his goal now.
I want to get into movies just like Reg Park. And I want to make millions of dollars and be rich and famous just like Reg Park. Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I knew where I was going, that I'm going to become this bodybuilding champion just like him. So it was just a question of how do you do it? I was so relieved because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. So people always ask me when they saw me in the gym in the pumping iron days.
See the work he's doing.
Why is it that you're working out so hard?
Execution of goal.
5 hours a day,
vision.
6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face. And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. So every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. So I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound bench press. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. I couldn't wait for the next exercise. At the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest as the youngest Mr. Universe ever. And it was because I had a goal. So let me tell you something, visualizing your goal and going after it makes it fun. You got to have a purpose no matter what you do in life. You got to have a purpose. 74%.
So you got to have your purpose. You got to have your purpose as a 24-karat gold, a winning personality. And developing a winning personality is not a hit and miss affair, nor a matter of luck, but a conscious and focused effort. A balloon seller. Again, I'm just one sentence. The color of balloon does not matter. What matters is what is inside the balloon. What is the content inside that balloon? How Arnold Schwarzenegger became Mr. Universe. He almost worked 8 hours a day to build his body. That's how, what is, the color of balloon does not matter. What matters is what is inside the balloon. So finally, coming to 24 carats of gold to develop a winning personality. That is adaptability. Adaptability. If you are able to adapt the surroundings, if you are able to develop your skills, if you are able to develop your physical strength, your knowledge, ultimately you have adapted your surroundings, you have adjusted oneself readily to different conditions. Let me show you again one last slideshow on this, that how you can adapt yourself under different kind of conditions. Last slideshow video, and then I'll ask your comments. Last video, last slide. Write down your comments as feedback also. See, you have to adapt yourself for becoming a 24 karat gold winning personality. See how the persons are helping others. See the teamwork and the idea. Water conservation. Which was being wasted, now being utilized. And you are groomed. Anticipate, organize, and adapt. That's what I want to say, that you have to be adaptable now. Whatever I have shown you, the number of features of the to build your character, you have to adapt for it. Few quotes for just for your reference. Adaptability is about the powerful difference between adapting to cope and adapting to win. Another, it is not the strongest of species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Be willing to change, because life won't stay the same. Things change. The only thing constant is change. It's up to you to be adaptable. And all failure is a failure to adapt. All success is successful adaptation. And finally coming to one quote by George Bernard Shaw, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. Meaning thereby, he himself adapts to the word, whatever word says. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. He asks the world to adapt him. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. What kind of man you would like to be? I'm asking you, what kind of man or woman you would like to be? Are reasonable or unreasonable? Just a question for you. I'm asking you to make your comments. Make hay while the sun shines. Try never fails. Very, very nice session. I want now your comments also. I want you to, again, this question I'm showing you. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. I asking you, what would you like? A unreasonable man or a reasonable man? Just asking you a question and just asking you your way of dealing with becoming a 24 karat gold as a winning personality. Want to be unreasonable? That's great. That's great. Coming good, a kind of better kind of command. Always know that change is dynamic and we need health adaptation. Stop reservation, save nation. Excellent session. Only trying in unity, unselfishly. Great, reasonable. Oh, somebody is saying reasonable. Be reasonable. Want reasonable one. I say you become unreasonable one. Become a catalytic change agent. If you are catalytic change agent, ask world to adopt you rather than you adopt yourself to the world, and that will create a winning personality. Don't resist, but make changes, because change is constant thing. A system secures supreme success. If we want results, we have to adopt changes necessarily. Reasonable man, reasonable man. Okay, reasonable. My point of view is, don't become reasonable, but become unreasonable, so that you become a catalytic change agent. You create changes of your wish, and those changes would be for the betterment of the world, not for an individual, not for yourself, but you think about a 24 karat gold, which is pure and fine, which is good. And if you are good, pure and fine, you will also create that world good, pure and fine, in which your life would be more reasonable, your life would be more happier than others. That's what I have to say. Now, if any feedback is there, the feedback is open for you in comments. Certain change is madness, but few times helps also. Very knowledgeable, very informative session. Be practical. That's great. I want that you have to be practical. You now open for think and act. No doubt. Unreasonable, reasonable. Certain change is madness. True. Very knowledgeable. Okay. If we be unreasonable, we will have a reasonable life. Very true. Samrin, Fatima, very true. Really very nice and useful. Now I need your feedback also. Please go providing feedback. I am through with my lecture. If you have any query, you can send an inquiry so that I interact. Thank you so much for wonderful session. Very useful webinar, sir. Thank you all. Thank you. Motivational. Need a copy sent to my email, please. Okay. Knowledgeable. Excellent lecture, sir. Knowledgeable. Very informative session, sir. Sir, how to control your anger while dealing with people. Very informative session. Highly interactive session.
Hello. Thank you, Gurcharan sir. Gurcharan Singh sir. That is Mahesh speaking on behalf of Dr. M. Sulingegoda. First, I'd like to thank you for your nice presentation. Here are some simple questions from the inquisitive listeners and the viewers. First, I ask you, in the story, that bowl of curd presentation, I want to know, whose fault is it? Is it the fault of the daughter-in-law or her parents? If she denied a bowl of curd to her father-in-law, is it not fault of her parents?
You see, you can take it from two dimensions. Okay. One dimension is your personal way of thinking. No doubt you are taking some hereditary factors, but it can be environmental factors as well. I gave you a temperament, I gave you an environment, I gave you what you call characteristic. Now, when I go for temperament, it is a hereditary, what you call genetical traits which have been developed. Now, had it been a genetical traits, then certainly it is a fault of her parents. They have not hold that character like what is needed in future, right? Now, had it been an environment, then the fault lies with an environment. It is not with a particular person, because the rubbish environment, the distinctive negative environment has made the experiences of that fellow in such a way that she is now starting avoiding a what you call aged people. Now it is coming to character. This is again an experience, a cognitive experience, a emotional experience. Now, if the kind of experience in his family are such, in his in her family are such, which have given her a training like it, then again the fault lies with the parents, not with her. Truly, it is a environmental factors which made her to learn, and that's what her husband did it. Her husband now asked her father, ask his father that you take back your business. You take back your business. Now we will not be a manager of the business. We will just be a kind of labor in that business, and we will just earn wages. That will ultimately make his daughter-in-law to understand that his business is not owned by her husband. This business is owned still by her father-in-law, and they are just a laborer there. And to earn something, they have to make efforts. And to, on the more, self-respect and show respect to others. She was trying, her self-respect was not showing respect to others. There was again a question how she is trying to listen, a sensitive listening to others. There was again a fault on that fellow female.
I come to another presentation where that old gentleman tried to teach difference between the stealing and the taking.
Yeah.
So there is a saying in English, the world is like today, not because of the arrogance of the bad people, but because of the silence of the good people.
Very true.
How far the silence of that daughter-in-law affects her son's future. She remained silent. She didn't say anything when that elderly people complained, it is not your business to take away the food from your son.
Dr. Mahesh, I saw this event from a different angle. I saw this event from a different angle. The angle is her expression gave a message to her kid that she is angry with her kid. The action speaks louder than words, and the action from where she picked up her the plate of food in front of her kid and place it somewhere else, that action gives a lot of message to rest of the family and to her kid. Now this is one, because expression of action speak louder than words. Now, one, two. If she kept silent in front of her family, she was able to avoid the kind of hiccups or the trouble which she could face in future also. So actions speak louder than it, but she could handle the cohesiveness of family at least by remaining silent. And that cohesiveness of family ultimately succumbed to the pressure of that elderly person when he said that no, I am with my daughter-in-law. And ultimately, rest of the family bowed down in front of that elderly family. Again, they kept silent on it. Now that silence gives again a message that somehow, if there is a great vision, great action, people must respect that vision. People must respect that action, even if you didn't spoke any word.
What kind of education you recommend for the present day children? I think I asked you this question after going through your another presentation, Lunchbox, and Derek Redmond's presentation. Okay. In that presentation, that child was so contented with what, so happy after observing that boy was so happy while getting that piece of meat or lunch, get some sort of food from that lunchbox. He did not mind to get it back. Even though he left, he forgot to collect that lunchbox.
No, that story is something different.
You recommend
let me give you some brief out of it. Now there is a little boy going for his school, and he carries some lunchbox. Some person, a beggar type kid comes to him asking for some help, and ultimately asking for that food from that little boy. Now that little boy gave him that food, forgot to get his lunchbox or carry box back. When he entered his bus, then he saw just behind it through window that he forgot to get his carry box from that beggar. But he could see that charm, that spark in the eye of that beggar kid. What kind of happiness was there after he gave him his own lunch, and the kind of happiness in the eyes of that boy, and this happiness was what you call translated into the eyes of this school going boy. That was a learning of lesson. That was a learning of lesson that if you help somebody else, it gives you a different kind of satisfaction, and that satisfaction creates a different level of happiness in your mind. That was a lesson for him, and it was again a lesson for that beggar also. He helped him. He could overcome over his hunger, and he could get his hunger overcome. That was a happiness for him. But the happiness for giver of a help, as a little boy, though he don't know anything what is happening, because school going kid of almost 6 7 years or 8 years, he cannot understand these what you call philanthropy word or buzzwords or metaphors. He cannot understand. But the kind of spark, the kind of charm in the eyes of that beggar kid, he could watch. That was a really wonderful for him. And he gave him again an inspiration that if their parents, his parents are there, which are giving them, who are giving them a lot of things, had the parents of that beggar would have, they would have given them the same thing which he is getting as school going kid. That's what is a kind of story.
And I had learned, read in a magazine, according to Harvard University survey, that people are getting jobs and getting promotion because of their positive attitude, not because of their subject knowledge. What kind of attitude they refer to? Is positive attitude matters most?
It is just not in what you call US also. Now it is happening in India as well. I remained as head of the department, and when companies were coming for placements, they were just asking them that what you did MBA. What was the specialization? Finance. What was the in finance? So and so papers. Okay, fine. Now they will immediately ask that if you are let's say this is a financial service. Let's say a housing finance loan, you have to sell it. How you are going to sell that housing finance loan to a customer? Now that is the question. It is just not a question of knowledge. It is a question of the skill which they have. And within that skill, they will ask what kind of interpersonal skill you use for as a seller to client. And if you are able to convince, now three things: charisma, clarity, and conviction. Now charisma is not a part of it. Charisma is not required for it. Clarity and conviction is required for it. If you are convinced that yes, this can be sold, if your communication is so clear and you are able to convince your client with your metaphors, with your language, certainly that leads to a positive attitude. And this positive attitude is more fruitful than the knowledge. They normally say, sir, we will get them learn. We will get them learn about knowledge. But this positive attitude, we cannot get them learn. This may be an inheritance. This may be because of environment. This may be because of their character. This we cannot get them learn. Learning about knowledge we can do, but the learning about this, what you call positive attitude, cannot be done. You can practice it. You can take some glimpse. If I ask this audience to do it compulsorily, mandatorily, they will not do it. It is up to them. They will have to decide whether this will work for them or not. If they voluntarily accept my advices and go for implementing it, and they get some good results, wonderful results, that will become a part of their life. That's how this will work. And that's how corporates also come up. That positive attitude is a major element for going for selection or recruitment rather than a knowledge. Knowledge can be enhanced over a period of time. And knowledge is again a changing over a period of time. Today's knowledge will become obsolete tomorrow. Certainly, and if that happens, then knowledge can be gained by somebody. It can be voluntarily, it can be mandatorily, it can be compulsorily. But positive attitude may not be. That's the reason they opt for positive attitude priorly.
So there is a saying in English, luck accounts for 47, money accounts for 72, and success accounts for 89, and attitude only accounts for 100. What kind of attitude do the present generation develop that kind of attitude? What is mean by the 100% attitude accounts for 100%?
You see, my focus was, first of all, I have given you the personality, the personal development, the personality development, and ultimately stages of personality development. That was for a conceptual base to become, to give them. Question is, what is winning personality? To become a winning personality, you have to imbibe some issues in your personality. You have to inculcate some features in your personality in such a way that your personality becomes a 24-karat gold. Yeah, that your personality becomes a winning personality. And for that matter, the most important issue is your attitude. Your attitude may not be envious. Your attitude may not be ego conscious. Your attitude more be proactive. Your attitude more be positive. Your attitude not be negative. Your attitude may be for voluntary accepting the responsibility. Your attitude will lead to adaptability. At the end of my session, I was talking about adaptability. And all your failures are your failures, or your success are your success. The only condition is if you adapt, and this adaptation depends upon your positive attitude.
Sir, next question. Do you suggest psychological education to promote positive personality?
Dr. Mahesh, you see, if I go to the stages of personality development, no doubt education plays a role. Since our ancient period, since Guru Chela tradition, people become more what you call great mentors, great what you call sociologists, great philosophers, and the contribution towards becoming their great people, that was more about their teachers at the school level, about their parents in their family. They have contributed a lot. Now, when I talk about this psychological education, at school level, if you give them these kind of buzzwords, they may kill their creativity. Psychological buzzwords at this level, I don't think that this is more important. Yes, after schooling, if you give them this kind of, because then they are in a position to analyze the things. At an earlier stage of their schooling, they are not able to analyze. They have some different desires, some different priorities to learn, and so psychological educational input may not be more useful. This is again, people may differ with me. This is my own opinion. Psychological educational input may not be so helpful at school level, though the tactics can be used by teachers as games, as practicals, as role plays. But if you say giving them education, I don't think that the students are going to digest those things. It may be what I learned from my kid. I am blessed with a small daughter. She's almost 18 years now. Over a period of her growth, I'm watching her very closely. I'm observing her very closely. If you give some different kind of extra dose of different subjects, probably they may not be in a position to digest, may not be in a position to what you call understand, and then they may broke. That's my way of understanding this issue.
Sir, another one. Do soft skill have any role in development, personality development?
That's really true. That's really true. These soft skills plays a vital role in it. Now, this kind of webinar, I normally go for workshop basis. I would have gone for workshop also had it been a physical classroom, and I would have asked them to go for some exercises, because these skills need to be imposed on them and then try to learn out of it. that what message is delivered by that particular exercise, that particular play, that particular activity, and ultimately that role, when they play in a theatrical manner, they can influence their brain in a different way. It is just not that in a layman language you tell them and they will imbibe. No, they will not imbibe. If they get themselves into that kind of environment which we build around them, even if it is theatrical, the learning would be more. And soft skills are a part of that theatrical exercises within which they are going to learn as much as they can. But if you are giving them small briefs, small ideas, they will listen from one year, throw them from another year. That may happen. But if you are going for a workshop type of activities, activity-based exercises for these soft skills, it will play wonderful, wonderful, even beyond your imagination.
So present day younger generation have a suicidal tendency. Is it personality trait or any other thing?
Though I am not a psychological, that kind of psychological, what you call expert. Now again, my personal opinion, it is basically, to me, it appears that what kind of teachings and legacy he have taken from his family. One, two, what kind of sharing he has within his family. I'll give you one more example. I'm blessed with only one girl. And sometimes she complains to me that to which kind of peer she should share her emotions. She cannot share her emotions, at least of her age, to her father or to her mother. She needs that kind of peer where she can confide. Sometimes she complains that why I don't have my brother, why I cannot have my sister. You see, that is a kind of peer pressure with him. If that sharing platform is available with them, probably they may be able to express more and these suicidal tendencies would be lesser. And if you are not able to give them these kind of expressive modes, the tendencies are prevailing more there. The family setup, the family sharing platform, and some kind of mental setup, a strong, rigid mental setup, which they could have developed at the level where their family support is, suicidal trends becomes a psychological issue. That's true.
Sir, there is a question on the screen. Srinivas Sumurthy is asking that question. With your vast experience in personality development, could you please express your thoughts why even the well-educated, trained IAS, IPS and judges in our country are extremely corrupt?
I saw this question earlier also. The same question is coming up. Dr. Mahesh and my audience. Let's try to differentiate between education, knowledge, skill, and also let's try to differentiate between attitude, temperament, what you call character, and environment. Now, education gives you an education, may not be knowledge. Mind it. Education gives you cramming words, may not be knowledge. And if education gives you that knowledge, which are not cramming words, knowledge may be used for some purpose. And these IAS, IPS, and judges might have some knowledge, but in some specific, rigid, closed environment, a narrowed down, what you call a closed room environment, they are getting knowledge. And they are using that knowledge now for corrupt basis because of that environment. Now, environment again leads to there are whimsical issues. What you call politicians are there. What you call some those persons who are having unethical practices even in businesses, they are influencing that. And when they are influencing that, then it spreads all around. When it spreads all around, ultimately everybody is having a splash effects of it. And these splash effects of it defines your behavior of your pattern of behavior and your mindful behavior and your mindset, that how you are going to react and how you are going to respond to that particular situation. More probably in a corrupt way they are going to respond. That's how they do it. Yes. One more issue which I would love to mention. People are becoming more hypocrite. On the face of it, they will say, I'm very honest person. I'm very prudent person. And the back of the way, they push a dagger in your back. And that kind of hypocrisy is also happening and making people more corrupt. Now, do you say this is a psychological? Do you say again the environmental factors influence them? Or do you say this is a genetical? Maybe genetical trait may also be there, because more often a lawyer becomes his sons or daughters becoming lawyer, judge, his sons or daughter becoming judge, a teacher, his sons or daughters becoming teacher. This legacy is coming up, and ultimately, what I feel that this may be, if a person is more of corrupt person, more of corrupt nature, that legacy genetically may be transmitted to his future generation also. Probably that may happen.
So last one from our side. Present day children are addicted to online games, computer games. So such addiction to online games have any negative impact on their positive personality?
Again, I'll deal with this problem in two ways. One way is this sharpens the mind to act. If somebody is playing games, this sharpens the mind. It creates a quickness of decision. It creates a pace of decision making. It also leads you that whether your decision was right or wrong. No, these are positive sides. No negative side. If you abundance of everything may not be good every time. If you go beyond that particular limit of time, then certainly you are killing your own creativity as well. This destroys your whole mindset, which could have been used productively somewhere else also. And that productive time is now wastage on playing games. And you are not wasting your time, you are wasting your resources also, money also. You are wasting that electricity for which you have charged that device also. Thereby, excess of everything is bad. If it is limit, positive side is there. If it is beyond limit, the negative influence are more often than positive influences.
Thank you, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, I thank you. We have spared your valuable time with us. On behalf of the management, Vidyavardhaka Sangha, and our principal, Dr. M. Sulingegowda, and from all the inquisitive participants, I thank you once again. Thank you for your nice presentation, nice webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahesh, and thank you, Dr. M. Shivalingegowda. You have given me an opportunity to share my views. Somebody again write down that yes, is it a plagiarism? I don't know. Somebody have written here on comment box, but somehow I try to justify whatever knowledge I have. People might have listened it carefully. The only issue where I want to stuck is these learnings should not be a piece of learning. These learnings should ultimately become a lifestyle of yours. And that's what my intent is. That's what I want my audience to take care of it. That's what in between I had asked them that you kindly, would you like to become a winning personality? Again, I'm asking them, would you like to become a winning personality? That's the question. I want their comments at the end. If they say yes, few of them, my achievement of delivering lecture is already there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again from all our viewers, audience, and the management, and all my faculty members. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, good day.